Welcome back for week 4 of college football predictions. Will Sam Hartman push Notre Dame past Ohio State at home? And how about Mike Elko rejuvenating the Duke program? So, week 4.
Week 4.
I got a tech tip.
Oh, shit.
Tech tip.
When's the last time Alabama lost 2 in a row?
2 in a row? I don't know.
2013. They lost in the Iron Bowl to Auburn and then lost the preceding bowl game to Oklahoma. Yeah, Saban hasn't lost 2 consecutive regular season games since 2007.
And I don't think he's lost at home since
But they're 2-1 right now against an Ole Miss team.
He just lost at home the other day.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't lost that game they lost at home.
Yeah.
Was the first one they'd lost in like 20 years or some shit. It was some crazy number. It's been a long time since they lost at home. 20 games or something. They've had the longest standing streak so far, I guess, or the longest streak going to date at home.
It's believable. Don't get me wrong.
I can't remember what it was though.
I just feel like they may have lost to like LSU or Auburn in
not at home
memory.
though.
I have to think on it, or I have to look it up.
We must
I'm looking it up right now, mofo.
But Alabama, okay, so there's some conspiracy theories out there. I'm not going to say where I got them from.
Oh shit!
That the Jalen Milroe was suspended for that game. Who was the original starting quarterback? They started a different quarterback for the USF game, and that was just
okay.
It was a weird game, and they had the weather delay for like an hour and a half or some shit, like in the middle of the second quarter or something. I'm not sure. It was just a really, really weird game, and I'm sure they were just happy to get the fuck out of there.
So 21 straight games at home they'd won.
So that's like 4 or 5
and
years.
It's their first loss since 2019 when Alabama fell to number 1 LSU on home turf. So 2019.
That's what I thought. Something like that.
So 21 games. 21 straight games at home they've won.
Yep. And
until Texas whooped their ass.
Florida had a pretty insane home win streak during Urban Meyer's era. But I guess it's about the same because he was only there 6 years. So
we'll get to the Gators. Hang on. So we had
FSU. Well, FSU, like, they went up early on Boston College, and then that turned into a nail biter.
Yes, it did. Had everybody screaming. They were screaming.
I think everything else panned out the way the odds said it would for the most part. The only 2 upsets, I think, were Florida.
Missouri. Missouri did everything to lose that game at the end and still won it.
On a 61-yard field goal. That's insane.
That's a kick.
They wasted their timeout. It took a delay of game. I don't know what they were thinking. They got a first down, so the clock stopped. What was it, like 24 seconds or something like that? Or less than a minute to go, and they're standing on the sideline like they had a timeout. And it had to take a delay of game.
And that
added 5 yards to that kick.
I was watching, but I had like 5 games going at the same time. So
yeah, when he took that timeout, I was like, "What are you doing? You're going to need that timeout."
Okay, look, with YouTube TV, right? You can do the 4th screen thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the computer. Play cards right. I can have 8 games going on the computer, and then I can put them on both TVs too.
Oh damn, that's a lot of games, dude.
Information overload. What is my name on Pick'em have a flame next to it now?
Because you're on fire.
I'm on fire.
I'm on fire, biatch.
You got 9 out of 10 picks right.
And I hit the line too, didn't I?
Did you? In the game?
Yep, dead money, 45.
Oh, it didn't matter. So
Okay. That's pretty good, buddy.
You'll never hear me say this again. Go Gators.
I was talking shit to your wife.
Were you? Oh.
Yeah.
Is that why she said she was going to put an elbow to you?
Probably.
Colorado Buffaloes.
They deserve to lose that game.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did what's his face poke a dude in the eye?
Yes, he did. 100% poked a guy in the eye.
Messed up.
Everybody's all up in arms about this late hit on Travis Hunter.
He started to back off. Did you see it that way? It's like he kind of.
Was it when he took a knee or something?
No, that's the Florida game. I'm talking about the Colorado game. So Travis Hunter, it was just a regular routine play, but the safety comes over and
hits him in the sternum.
Yeah, hits him in the sternum. He kind of eased up, but
I was thinking of the other hit. I mean,
it
was a cheap shot.
That dude got hit.
It was definitely a cheap shot.
For sure. But
was that the one where the kid got hit and his fucking helmet went flying off?
No, his helmet didn't come off.
I saw a hit. Was it this week? Guy got hit and he hit the dude like right below the chin and his freaking helmet popped off like fucking Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It was fucking gone. I was like, damn.
Week 4 is going to be interesting, I think. I think there's going to be some turmoil in week 4. Because the way Florida State played last week, I wouldn't bet on Clemson, but they might actually win this game.
Oh, shit.
It's in Death Valley, too.
It's in Death Valley.
Alabama, Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's what I say. And Alabama may struggle with Ole Miss. Depends on which Ole Miss team shows up. This might come down to a field goal.
This is damn close to an even. They got Alabama favored by quite a bit, but 53% picked Alabama and 47% picked Ole Miss.
Yeah, let's see what the odds look like on Friday.
God, I'm gonna have to go against the odds and pick Ole Miss. I can't go against Ole Miss. Mississippi State, I can. I don't know about Ole Miss.
That's going to be an interesting game right there.
Ohio State, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's number 9. That's a tight one too.
Notre Dame could win that game.
I know.
That's pretty much a pick 'em.
That's a pick 'em. And it's at Notre Dame. Fair weather predicted.
We got 2 Tigers fighting each other too. Memphis and Missouri.
Take Missouri in that one.
So does everybody else, apparently.
Now, the other one that's interesting, it's on the other. It's not on the pick'em, but Michigan and Rutgers. Neither one of them has been flashy, but Rutgers has been playing like they got a decent football team. And they're going to be playing at Michigan. Now, that might be a closer game than they think. Because if they can't stop the Rutgers running game, it's going to be a long day for Michigan. They'll pull it off, but beat those 3 intersections and they can maintain possession of the ball with the new rule clock, they might pull off an upset in Michigan.
With the new what clock?
Yeah, they changed the clock rules for college this year, correct?
What do you mean it runs quicker?
I thought we talked about it. Maybe not.
Yeah, probably did. I don't pay attention a lot.
But it's something along those lines. Anyways, the clock is constantly moving now. Doesn't stop as much. So they can sell twice as many commercials.
Yeah, that's probably true. So who you picking? Texas A&M and Auburn. That's a tight one.
I might take Auburn in that game.
You're taking Auburn?
I might.
I took Texas. I mean, I can change it, I guess, but
I mean, A&M should win the game.
Right. And Clemson, I guess they're just not very good anymore now that old boy left, huh?
Well, see, it's still early, man. I think Clemson matches up well with Florida State. They could win that game.
Does Florida's defense get a boost after yesterday's win or Saturday's win?
We actually dropped, but we're still top 10 in the country.
How does that work? Is it just a coach's vote?
No, it's like It's a yards and points thing.
Oh, okay.
The coaches. Well, we're ranked 25th we hadn't been ranked since last year, so
Okay.
we moved up there in the poll. I don't know if we'll be ranked in the coaches poll. That was the AP poll. None of it really matters until the end of October, Smitty, when the playoff poll comes out.
Okay. So there's a coaches poll, an AP. What is that? The press, Associated Press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how often is it? So every week they redo it. It comes out every Monday or something.
They release it Sunday night, I believe.
Yeah. Do the coaches and the AP poll both come out Sunday, or
at least one of them does? I'm not sure about both of them.
The coaches poll comes out Monday or Tuesday.
Well, we do have to talk about the elephant in the room, the Colorado thing that's happening. I keep seeing a bunch of people. There's a bunch of people praising Deion Sanders, and they're like, "Oh man, yeah, he's doing great things, this, that, and the other, blah blah blah." But other people are like, "Not."
I think Deion kind of just is who he is, man.
He is who he is, and I didn't realize he took 82 players. I think it was 82. They said on a Good Morning America or whatever it was yesterday or this morning about he took 82 people, and everybody's like, "How is this legal?" And but I mean, he
From the portal,
huh?
He picked up 82 through the portal. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know how he did it, but he got rid of the entire fucking Colorado team. Basically, they were asking him questions about that. He did a 60 Minutes interview and everything, but basically he said because he fired the entire coaching staff, but he said, hell, the kids that they coached were just as bad as they were. It's basically what he said. I was like, damn. He's like, they can't do nothing for them. He's like, they need to go too. So I got rid of all of them. I mean, how do you react to that? I mean, do you think obviously if you're trying to get a ball team going, but there's probably a lot of kids that were on scholarship that just got cut. You know what I mean?
Scholarship's a year-to-year contract.
Right. But what I'm saying is, had Deion not been the coach, they probably would have played. And he just cut their fucking scholarship. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I get it. It's on the surface, it looks really dirty. But at the end of the day, Deion was brought there to do what?
Win.
Yeah. No, I get it. But anyway, yeah.
No, I mean, I see your side of it. I see where you're getting at. It doesn't look, tasteful or whatever.
There's a lot of them kids that were at Colorado because Colorado, for lack of a better argument, the last few years has just not really been a high football school. But these kids that were playing were like, okay, I'm at but I'm getting an education. They were more focused on their education than football, kind of a thing. A lot of them like, at least I'm on a full ride. I can afford it. The only reason I can go here is because of football, and then gone. And typically, had he not showed up, they probably would have been because I got to believe that half of them were starters. So they probably thought, okay, I'll get my education out of this, and then I'm done. I'm not going to, they're not going to high school or going to the pros. Yeah. I don't know. It's I don't know what they would do for them, or if they had any recourse. Like, did they go somewhere else? I'd like to know what happened to those kids.
Well, I can tell you.
Okay.
So they brought in 51 new players through the transfer portal last year. They had 56 leave. Of the 56.
Of their own volition, or 56 got sent packing?
I don't know.
Okay.
The only person who knows that is Deion.
Okay.
And the coaching staff.
Gotcha.
So out of those, I'd have to do some counting here. It looks like a good majority of them landed somewhere.
Okay.
Not all of them, but a majority.
So in that transfer portal, that's probably a long conversation. I don't understand that, but I don't understand the transfer portal. But
what do you mean?
I don't know what you guys are really talking about. I don't know what the transfer portal is.
So player A either is told in no uncertain terms, you should probably look elsewhere, kind of like free agency. So basically, you go to the NCAA office or your school. I forget what the office is, but you go somewhere at the school and you tell them you're going to transfer. And you put in your paperwork. And as soon as you put in your paperwork, you're like out there in this. It's a legit thing. Like
You're
it's
basically like getting drafted from other colleges.
Well, it's like a database.
Yeah.
Like you go into this database of everybody who's in the transfer portal, basically. And then at that point, depending on what time of year it is and what day of the week, other college coaches can contact you, schedule visits, all that sort of stuff. And then if you get an offer to go to a school, or multiple or whatever, then you just pick what school you're going to go to, and then you go enroll there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but
yeah,
there's a lot of talk about tampering and like you're not allowed to contact a student athlete on another team's roster who is not in the transfer portal.
Right. But I'm sure there's plenty of that going on.
Yeah. That's what they say.
But do you think there's other things going on? Like, are coaches allowed to talk to each other to say, "Hey, I got this fucking tight end. I know you guys need a tight end. I need a defensive end," or whatever. And they're like, "Hey, we'll put him in the transfer portal and we'll swap." Do you think that kind of thing's going on?
I mean, that sounds a little egregious, but it could be. Never know.
Oh,
I know the coaches.
That's not legal. You don't think that's legal? That's not legal.
I don't think that's legal, but
a lot of the coaches hang out together in regional.
Yeah.
So
I do know the coaches will call, like, if I'm going to consider this kid. I'm trying to think of a good example. The offensive lineman we took from Alabama, when he got in the portal last year, our coach called Saban and was like, "Hey, man, like, does this kid have issues? Like, why is he in the portal? Blah 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 blah." Just trying to get some information.
Feel him out.
Yeah, because you want to make sure.
Get the background check.
Yeah, you got to do the background check. You want to make sure that everything's kosher.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah.
You don't want someone else's problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we ended up like. So Dan Mullen went into the portal quite a bit because he couldn't recruit high school kids. He sucked at it. So we ended up with Brenton Cox from Georgia. And like, when I tell you that was probably the worst pickup transfer portal wise, and since the transfer portal became a thing, I mean, Jesus Christ, talk about somebody who plays selfish fucking football.
Oh, really? That's not good.
There was a reason why he was no longer at Georgia. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
So
how long has the transfer portal been around? When did they start that?
2-3 years?
Kids have been transferred forever. The old rule was you sat out a year. Now they get a 1-year waiver, pretty much, unless you're a graduate transfer. That's why JT Daniels has been able to transfer 15 times, because you can graduate transfer as many times as you want, I guess.
So, Smitty, the Beavers and the Cougars are playing.
Of course they are. You got to go with the Cougars, though. The Cougars are ruthless. And bitches don't care.
It might be a flip, too. Oregon State might pull it off, though.
I went with the Beavers because it's not highly favored. I mean, that looks like it's going to be a tight one, too. Who knows? It looks like it's going to be a tight Beaver Cougar game. That's what kills me, is because also Brigham Young is the Cougars, too. And it's a freaking church college.
That's a good educational program, too.
Yeah, BYU. You notice Lyle walked away when we started talking about Beavers and Cougars. He's like, I'm not going to be a part of this conversation. Let the old man hash this one out. I was surprised to see Clemson not even ranked. I thought Clemson was always like in the top.
They have looked horrible. Yeah, horrible. But the way Florida State played the other day, they damn near played as bad as Clemson has played all year. So in Death Valley, that might be an upset. Because if they don't get it together in Death Valley this weekend, they're out of the conversation to even playing championship game for the ACC. This luck just shows up and they back into it.
I picked Ole Miss over Alabama.
What do you see, Tater, is going to be a flash of reality come Saturday?
Well, the Florida State Clemson game is at a -2, so it's pretty much a pick 'em. It means Vegas knows something. I think flash of reality is probably going to be Oregon, Colorado. I mean, eventually I'm going to be right, and I think Oregon's going to wear that ass out.
Somebody's gonna light him up, and then I'll be interested to see how Dion reacts after the first loss. If he's gonna own it, or if he's gonna blame everybody else.
We'll see.
Yeah,
he didn't lose much at Jackson State.
Well, either way, I mean, the rebound to me, I haven't studied their schedule, but the next rebound on the next game, how well they play. If they play like they're defeated, that'll say a lot. But if they rebound, get a good game going following the loss, then he still has the team under him. They flying. Prime time.
Colorado, I mean, to first of all, let's put this in perspective. Colorado has played 3 equally terrible teams.
Yeah.
ECU is not very good this year. Nebraska is hot fucking garbage. And Colorado State is a group of 5 school. Lower tier FBS, Smitty.
Okay.
They haven't played anybody. And Colorado State took them to double overtime.
And Oregon is
I feel the same way about FSU.
Yeah. FSU's going to get their medicine here soon, I think.
Well, if they don't get it soon, then we're going to have to give it to them at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So this is the negative numbers. So this one that says the line is Oregon -21.
Oregon by 3 touchdowns.
So that's what okay.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that shit out too, man.
All right. I'm just trying to.
I still don't bet because I don't know how to.
Right.
No,
well, I wouldn't anyway because there's too many factors.
Hold on. You said the line what now?
-21.
-21. So that means Oregon by 3 touchdowns.
Okay. I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at Oregon State and it says -3. And I was like,
it says the over under is 71, which tells me that
there's no defense.
Oregon, there's not going to be defense is optional this game. But I think one of the more surprising teams in the country is Duke, sitting at 18-3-0. Mike Elko has those guys rolling. What do you think game of the week is? You think it's Ohio State, Notre Dame?
I think so. I think Notre Dame might pull up an upset at home. It might not be that much of an upset.
I don't know.
We're going to find out if they got a team or not.
No, I don't. I can't think of a single team right now that's been just looked dominant. But I mean, I haven't watched everybody, but I just can't think of a single one that really just
stands out.
Yeah. And Sam Hartman's a damn good quarterback for Notre Dame. Not to say that Kyle McCord at Ohio State isn't, but I think, Kyle McCord this will be his 4th start. This will be Sam Hartman's 500 start. So
yeah, I think we were talking about. I think we talked about this before football started this year about them wanting to bring a bunch of different divisions together and start making these to try and get rid of some divisions. I think that might not be a bad idea. There's too many fucking Jesus. I'm looking at
there's a lot of colleges out there.
AAC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, Conference USA, Independence, Mid-American, Mid-Mountain West, Pac-12, Southeastern, Sun Belt. Jesus. That's just in FBS.
I've said for several years that the lower tiered conferences need to break away and do their own thing.
And just be a complete net.
Yeah.
Don't even play with these people.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play, just if you want to play some like out of conference games or whatever, but
that would be
have your own bowls, have your own playoff.
But where would the money come from? Don't most of them make money because they play the bigger teams?
Yes, some of them, not all. Typically, you're paying a team like
Georgia, Alabama, or something like that.
Well, a lower, much like a FCS team, you would pay them. Or
that's what I mean. Like if you
or Division II, you would pay them.
Yeah, like when Ball State played Georgia, I'm sure the only reason Ball State took that game was because they're getting paid. I mean, why would you play that fucking team? Why would you want to play your Ball State, for crying out loud? Why else would you want to play Georgia Bulldogs? You're not going to win. You know you're not going to win.
Yeah, okay. You're right. They did pay them. But yeah, I mean,
you can see that
kind of stuff. Yeah.
How much do they pay him?
$1.6 million.
So, but that comes from the NCAA, or does that come from Georgia?
That comes from Georgia.
No shit. They have to pay them to play?
They don't have to.
Well, I understand, but I just meant I didn't think the money came from the colleges themselves. I thought it just came from like NCAA.
It comes from the athletic department. Typically, a lot of these big colleges, I don't know if Georgia's this way, but like Florida, you have the AAU, which is the Athletic University Athletic Association or whatever.
Right.
And it's a part of the college, but it's kind of like its own entity.
Gotcha.
Injury report is in for Colorado. Travis Hunter will be out for at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Oh, did they give a diagnosis? Bruised ego?
Not sure.
I don't know, but the quarterback for Colorado pulled a Captain Insano on some kid. Fucking poked him right in the ball.
Yeah, he sure did. That shit was funny. Did you see that? Oh, we didn't even talk about it. We didn't even get to it. The Florida game and the ending. We didn't talk about the ending.
No, what happened?
They were fucking. So, all right. So, we had.
I watched that game. I didn't see anything. What happened at the end?
I think they might have cut over to another game before it happened, but Florida's running out the clock. They got the ball. So they're taking a knee. Or they weren't taking a knee. They were going to take a knee. So they took a knee with like, I don't know, there was like 15 seconds on the clock or whatever.
Right.
So anyways, long story short, with 9 seconds left, Tennessee calls a timeout. Mind you, they're down by 3 scores.
Yeah.
2 scores. All right. So 9 seconds left, you're going to call a timeout. You're going to throw a bomb and then get an onside kick and then throw another bomb. Not fucking happening.
Right.
So then on the ensuing play, Florida goes to try and they hike the ball. There's 9 seconds. You got to plays happen a lot faster than people realize.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of dancing around back there, trying to run some time off. Everybody knows what he's doing. Well, then he goes to takes a knee, but then one of the Tennessee players cheap shots him, knocks him over or whatever.
That's what I saw then. I think I saw that.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt him or anything, but it was a cheap shot.
And it pissed everybody off. Didn't the whole team go after him?
Yeah. So then, Florida's bench clears and our offensive lineman squared up. He was full boxer stance against
ready to kill him.
Yeah, one of them popped a couple of times. That's stupid.
Yeah.
So what was the consequences of that? Did any of the team players get?
Allegedly, I haven't confirmed this. The one of the kid that was in the boxing match on Tennessee side of it was dismissed from the team. But again, I haven't confirmed.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. The other guy in that situation, Billy Napier, said there would be internal discipline, and then the SEC announced today that he was suspended And 2 other players on Florida's team were suspended for the first half this weekend.
Well, you can't hardly blame a guy for protecting his teammate or standing up for him.
Well, I was kind of happy to see it.
Please, if anybody has any questions or comments, hit us up at primecohesion@gmail.com or head to our Facebook page at Prime Cohesion on Facebook and leave some comments. We'd appreciate it.